All right, what's up, y'all? What's going on? All right, so I want to talk about food stamp envy or food stamp tourists. That's what I'll title this: food stamp tourists. All right. Now, what's a food stamp tourist? All right, so I've been late night. I couldn't really sleep. Um, and it was just on me to talk about food stamps and the EBT system and all of that or whatever the case. There's a feelings and emotions about that from many different nations in the world. I can easily say you should do the same thing for your people, but at the same time, the reason why the world had feelings and emotions or feel like it's not fair that Hebrew people or black people in America get EBT, or people think it's not fair. They feel like it's not fair. It helps us understand that you're not a slave, but you don't know what slavery is. You come to America, you thinking it's a free place or it's a business place for everybody. It's the same for everybody, but it's not. The EBT system was it created for the slaves because not necessarily just the native Indians, but the actual Hebrew slaves from the tribe of Yehuda that came over on ships from the land of Canaan or Canaan or Cush, as you call Africa. They took us, stripped us of everything, our identity, our language. They stripped us of everything that we were, and to the point where we don't know where we come from. We have no home to go back to. They just compiled us together and brought us over here, and it's been 500 plus years. So we could have no clue, or a lot of us would have no clue where we came from or originate from, because they changed names. They took our original names, and gave us stupid names and things like that. And like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that they gave them new names, but their names were Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. All right, but they gave them slave names: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Now they did the same thing with us, but they did worse by stripping us of our whole culture, our whole identity. Um, so we have nothing to go back to, nothing to claim, and also people from around the world feel as though we're not a people, or they feel nothing towards us because they can't identify us, and that's how it is. Now, food stamp tourists are people that came to America when the system was set already. Now, it wasn't just Caucasian Americans running everything. Since we were slaves here, we decided to just put our minds together to figure out a better way to have a system to accommodate ourselves, because no one else was here except natives, the indigenous people, which are really natives, native Indians, Hebrews, and Caucasian people. They were the only ones here in the very beginning. All right. As time passed and the 13 colonies started to turn into America, and then they invented a city called New York. It was York, then New York. It started to grow. You start to see a little bit of streets and stuff. You know, horses and carriages and stuff. It wasn't even cars yet. Then you start seeing people popping up from all around the world and stuff. Just slowly but surely popping up from allied countries and stuff like that. But before that, it was no city, no buildings, nothing. It was just straight up barren land, no trains, nothing, barren land. You build a little hut made out of wood, and you just start growing food, growing cotton and watermelon and all kind of stuff like that. We were the labor force. Then things started to happen where they start having ideas to make other things, and we were the labor force of those things, but we never got paid. Now, we were given promises because we worked so good. We were given promises. 40 acres and a mule was the first promise, or the main promise, that every slave person knows. That promise was betrayed, and they killed us and things like that. Thinking it's like they were like, you thought that we really were going to give you something, and we were betrayed. Now, all of the slave masters did not betray that promise. Some Some of the slave masters were good slave masters in the sense where they gave their slaves land and property, you know. So that's how you see where some people that are some people that are Hebrews or that were slave or that are slaves have land. Like if you go to the Shua community, you know, they have land. It was given to them, you know. But other places too, land was given to them or purchased, but land was given to them. They were able to maintain it, build on it, things like that. Today you have to buy land. Excuse me. Today you have to buy land. And before, there was no cost to land. It was just occupied by the colonists. And they were making all kinds of promises. The promises were really to the natives that they would give back to us. And this is the East Coast story. The East Coast story before they start pushing further west. I guess while they was enslaving us on the East Coast, they were pushing further west and causing problems to the other natives in the West. So we hear about certain stories like Oregon Trail and all of this stuff. We hear about different stories and about that with the natives. Like when you seen the movie John Carter, it starts off where this guy's in the Midwest and he's like doing whatever they tell him to do. He's in the military, but at the same time, he's being used by his own military, and at the same time, the natives are trying to kill them. At the same time, hiding in the mountains and the clefts of the rocks and stuff like that. So whenever your Oregon come past, they'll come off the mountains with that thing. So we used to watch movies to know what was going on in the middle of the Smiddle. But as far as what was going on the East Coast, we had slave movies. So you're not thinking that the natives were enslaved for real. They mixed with the black people or the slaves, and like I said, it was different rules to it. And a lot of us became slaves, but we were natives. We just mixed bread with the Hebrews because they're right there. They're the only ones we can trust because they're the only ones over here without wanting to be. They did not ask to come here. They got dragged over here. So the good ones that we can find, we made agreements and pacts and mixed bread with them. It was not a thought. It was instant stuff. Like how people are slow today. It was instant back then. Like, no, we gotta survive instantly. You giving me a wife and all that type stuff and not playing games with it. You had to be holy as well. Not playing games. You're not betrayal games. No stupid shit going on. You give me a wife, that's my wife. No feelings and emotions about it. We having children and all that. We gotta exist. We gotta live. We gotta survive. Procreate. Have children. Spread out. Be many. Y'all playing today and shit, social media games, skeptical games, don't know the history for real. It's like we so backed in the corner, or we so reserved that we don't learn the history, or the history is not real to us or something like that. We're not keeping up with the history. We got offset or blindsided by social media and CNN and all that shit. You got blindsided. But the details is what's missing. But back then, the details were so strong because it was like you're in physical danger. But today, it's like they're not really in physical danger. It's just social media, movie games, Hollywood bullshit. So you don't feel like that's a real threat for real. So they can silently destroy you. But whatever the case, food stamp system came about, because that was basically how we continued to do whatever it was that was needed to be done. In early slavery, they never paid us. They just gave us food, shelter. It was always a Section 8 system, always the EBT system. It just wasn't in the system of all states yet. But when they realized this was a wise decision at the same time, even though they wasn't trying to pay us, they also knew it was a wise decision to do that. So now that we're caught up to today, what you're seeing is that this is a slave system. It's an EBT system, and you come to America and you have to, brand new people come to America. They make money. They have to work for money and things like that. And you just popping up and you like, McDonald's is here. You see all of these cars and streets and roads. You weren't here if you weren't here, excuse me. If you weren't here in the very beginning, before it was even called America, before a car was even invented, my nigga. Like there weren't even cars. It was just straight up just people and horses and carriages and stuff like that walking everywhere. You know, you had to ride a horse to get somewhere or run. So it was harder to flee or harder to get anywhere, you know. Uh so yeah, man, that was the early times. Harriet Tubman, you like when we say Black history, they give us a month for you to learn about it, but at the same time, the people that here that from other nations don't think that that's important for them to know. They like it's stupid for you. Like when you look at black people, or you hear Black history or Black American history, you thinking you're completely empty about it. You're like, man, whatever. You're not realizing that that's the number one key for you to know what the fuck is going on with you. Like if you don't know what's going on with the Black Americans, you don't know what's about to happen to you or what's going on with you. Every decision that America makes is surrounded by black people. Every decision they make is surrounded by us, the natives and black people, or the slaves and the natives. So you come over here, you thinking natives is always like a pale skin. Like you looking in the wrong places. You're basing people's nativity, or you're making your decisions based off dumb things like color, skin color, shit like that. No, you just need to know the history and why things became the way it was. You know, your prejudices, your issues that you come over here with from whatever country you come from end up becoming your downfall. And that's how you start analyzing, assessing, and judging things, and it traps you up. So you expose yourself while you're here. Like, what's the reason you're here? By how you judge the people that's here, you know? So whatever issue, let's say you was from China and you already had prejudice issues with brown skinned Chinese people and stuff like that. And then you came over here to make money or whatever. Something happened in your family, you running away or some shit like that. Or you got expelled or some shit. You come over here. The issues that you already had when you were home, you start applying that to the people that's here when you start judging them. So you can't see life in a balance. You see life from whatever you was running from or whatever you came from. You know, so you're looking at brown people like, how these brown people just get an EBT system, whereas though brown people in your country, you don't talk about, you don't put on TV, and they don't get a damn thing, you know? So you're looking like, how the fuck they get an EBT system? And so you feeling some kind of way, you know? You're not knowing the history and stuff like that. You don't feel like it's important to know about these people because in your country, you feel like it's not important. Your people is not important that you keep down. Like the Visayan people and stuff like that. Filipinos be Caucasian looking and stuff like that, all in the city, all famous and have all this luxury and all that. But the brown skinned Filipinos and stuff like that, they treat like shit. You know, they don't allow them to get education. Like they gotta pay money to get education, so they end up staying dumb. That's disrespectful as shit. You can't go to school. Now in America, they understood. Like that's why America's stronger than all of the other nations still, is because through the 500 years that we've been slaves, they understood what brings them power, what maintains power for their nation. So as them looking at us like property, they also understood how do you maintain your economy and your property. So in a way, it helped them understand wisdom in a way by them looking at us like straight property instead of looking at us like people with feelings and emotions. But at the same time, it was evil and disrespectful for them to look at us like property. So what happened was, it's like, well, if I want to maintain my economy, I need to make sure my property are educated. I don't want dumb slaves. They need to know how to do things. They need to know how to analyze. They need to know how to assess. They need to know math. They knew we needed to be educated in order to work, because then we can fuck something up. And then you don't want to lose more slaves and shit. So by by them being educated, you maintain your property. They don't die or some shit like that by making an accident. So training programs and shit like that, because you don't want to lose your slave. You just not, breeding farms aren't breeding that fast type shit, or whatever the case. It's hard to come by a slave. It was hard. Those pots expensive type shit. So that's how they were looking at it. So they were like, they need to be educated. And then from the education, it being free, it's free education, free food. You know what I'm saying? Because when I went to school, you get public school, you get free school. Also, you get, along with food stamps, was the children got we got free lunch, and we got bus tickets and stuff, as we call it, transportation tickets, or whatever. We call it bus tickets. You get bus tickets. So when I was coming up in school, you had issued to you every month a color-coded booklet. And that color-coded booklet, whether it was green, blue, aqua-looking, purple-looking, red-looking, you had different colors of every month the lunch tickets and the transportation tickets. So you get a booklet. You open it up. It got each day of the month on that ticket. So day 1, day 2, day 3, you get 2 of them. You get 2 of them. And then in the back, you get a couple like reserve ones in case you lose one or whatever, whatever. So you got 2 day 1s, 2 day 2s, 2 day 3s, so to go to school and to come back home from school. Now with the tickets, you can like rip. Let's say January 1st is here. All right, you get the brand new booklets before January 1st come here. January 1st, you get your new booklet, open it up. Yeah, get that, rip it out, get your day 1 ripped out, and then you catch the bus and you ask for a transfer. Can I get a transfer? Because in order to get home, you might have to take 2 or 3 buses, So you ask for a transfer, and then they give you a 1.5-hour time limit or a 2-hour time limit to use this ticket. So you can travel wherever you need to go for 2 hours. So if you don't live that far from home, you can still ask for a transfer. They don't know if you got to catch 2 or 3 buses. You can just catch 1 bus and drive like 20 minutes down the street. 20 or 30 minutes down the street, and that's where your house is at. But you can ask for a transfer, hop off the bus, somewhere, eat some food, do this, do that, hop back on the bus and go home, and then catch the next bus home. So it was stuff like that accommodated us, with bus tickets. This was free transportation. This was part of the system so that your slaves can be educated as well as get to where they need to get to or whatever and not be harmed, because you don't want to lose your slaves. At the same time, lunch tickets. If you were poor, your family was poor, you're a slave, your family's poor, you don't have much, they didn't leave us down and out because we're poor and shit. They knew that that's their property. If we don't grow up and learn something and start to get trades and educate ourselves, we can't maintain the system. Why they hide in the background? Yes, they had a bad connotation to it. All of them didn't, but there's a bad connotation to most of them. So they want to hide in the background because you got many nations over here now. So if I hide in the background and let the slaves get up and continue keeping the system going, we can just, do it like that. But how do we do it? Give them the stuff that they need for free. And so that's how the EBT system. So if your family was on EBT, Section 8, it means you was a poor slave. You didn't have anything, or you didn't have a father, just your mother. Then shit start happening. We start trying to play the system and shit because it was being unfair. They're killing us still. Like, you're killing us still, but at the same time, I need to survive. I got children and shit. So we started playing the system, and it just became a big melting pot of bullshit. What started happening across time is that people started realizing we need God. Because whether we play the system or don't play the system, we need a holy way to do things. We need the Creator to help us. We want to be free. Because we keep playing the system, but the system keep playing us in return. And so it's like that type of thing. Them trying to keep us in check, but at the same time, trying not to die, because we're trying to do everything in our power to not steal and start breaking in stores and shit like that. And we already know the police is actually the real slave, the slave masters, the new slave masters of the police. But you have your select few people, like some Latinos here, some black people here and there, to try to regulate things so that they don't get out of hand. But if you see Caucasian people, mostly in certain areas, majority of the police are Caucasians. You don't really see black people as police officers. They're the ones that are the slave masters. They are the KKK, Ku Klux Klan type shit. So wiggling that motherfucker anyway, just to kind of regulate things. Same with the military, get in there anyway. Kind of keep things regulated. Because if you let all of them do it, they'll just kill. You know what I'm saying? We start thinking and stuff. But it wasn't the thing about just thinking. It was the thing about we need holiness. We need a power from heaven. And that was what I was focused on growing up. We need a power from heaven. We need heaven to come down and do this, because in order for them to keep this system going, they have a spiritual power to keep all of these people from different nations in check like this. How do you do that? So the queen understood that. How are you keeping all of these nations in check and you're just peasants? What kind of power do you have? So she had to look for the Most High Creator, and knew that if we woke up and served the Most High and come back to the true Creator, then we'd have power to overturn slavery, because many nations are here. And the reason why they still have power is because our asses are so enslaved, we keep the system going. We keep the economy going, Every time you get a job, you keep the economy going. No matter who you are, you come to America, you get a job, you keep the economy going, But we have no choice. We've been here from the beginning. So it's not for you to look at us like we got choices or some shit, or to look at us like, we have a fighting chance. We never had a fighting chance. So I'm not gonna say never. It's just people's evil, people's wickedness trap them up. And when you become an evil, wicked person, how this is how it starts. You're a person in Abu Dhabi, right? Or a person in the Middle East somewhere, right? You're a billionaire. You run everything. You rich as shit. You got a couple wives and children. You got jet planes and all that. You got all that you need. You're rich. But what happens is this random person comes to you that also has money called America, the monopoly man, and he makes a deal with you. And you thinking, man, you know, what you working with? You know, because you have your heart is already evil. You already have an evil inclination, you know. So you're not serving the Most High either. You're serving a pagan god. So they come over and play on you, on your desires. They play on your wicked desires. Like, what is his lust? So as soon as they come to you, they're looking for what your lusts are. Is it women? Is it cars? Is it clothes? Is it power? They look for your lust, how you treat your people. So when they look at your lust, they play on that and try to give you more of that, or try to get you to, you know, play with them. And then you buy into it because you love cars, and now America got you. Your lust for cars. And then for the cars, they start wanting some of your people, you know, wanting some of your women and shit like that. And then what happens after that? They betray you. And you be like, hold on, we had a deal. Fuck that deal. And then you get mad, and then you want to fight back, and then you get bombed. And you never had a bomb ever in your life. You never thought that I should make a big, huge nuclear weapon that can destroy the whole fucking planet. You never would think like that, because who the fuck wants to destroy the whole fucking planet? You got respect for nations out here. They don't. So that's how it is. Satan can use a bunch of people that have no respect for anybody because they're vagabonds to earth. They don't belong. Everybody's against them. Everybody is trying to kill them. They don't have peace or respect for other nations. They just want to conquer and take. So that's who you're up against, a bunch of people who don't belong. So yeah, they're always war-minded, always making weapons and shit while you sitting back chilling. So that's how it happens. You got a lot of power. Then they make an agreement with you, betray the agreement once they give you enough, and then boom, blow you up and shit. And now you mad as shit. You don't know beginning from end, who, what, when, where. You already don't treat your people good. You don't have an EBT system. You looking at them like, man, they can starve to death. They can, you starving people to make them do what you say. America, they feed us to make us do what they say. Like, give us food, give us shelter, give us free shit, or give us accommodations and shit. Like, they give us stuff to make us stay humble because they know that we could still overturn or turn on them because we operate the system. But they understood that it was wiser to do that because we don't have anywhere to go anyway. So we're going to stay content in the captivity as long as you give us something because we have nowhere to go anyway. Otherwise, we're going to turn and start fucking this whole shit up. And if all of us die, you have no economy because every other nation got a military. They have a government already. They're not going to submit to you. They're going to fight to the death. We have nothing. So what's going to happen is we're going to fight to the death too if you cross the line too far. So they understood the basic necessaries of life is what we need. Like they give us food stamps, you get a phone. With the food stamps, you get food. You can get cash assistance and stuff like that if you really, really poor and homeless and down and out like me, and like, SSI disability because you can't work, you're disabled, your body can't function physically like it needs to work, so you can get on disability and they take care of you. They understood things like instead of let you go because you have nowhere to go, I can't just let you go, so I'll just take care of you. But then envy comes in with the new ass children, the new ass slave master children that don't know the fucking history story themselves and be feeling emotions too. I don't want to take care of these niggers and shit. They're not understanding the pain level and the trauma that was done to our people a long time and that we have nowhere to go to. And so us having nowhere to go, you thinking to bring new people in, deceive the new people, and just get the new people that's coming in America to kill us off, and they can be the new slaves. So what's going to happen? You're going to do the same thing you did to us to them, playing on that evil, their lust, playing on their lust to entrap them. And then once you trap them, you strip them of their power. And once they stripped of their power, they're in your hands. Now they're your new government system and shit. They're fresh blood and shit. But it's also at the same time, they're indigenous as well. So you feeling as though they don't have a land to go back to. So if you can take the whole north and south, you got the whole shit. That's what you're thinking. And then next thing you know, you're going to be running after Canada. The next thing you know, you're going to be running at the UK and then Africa. You're going to start trying to take all the shit over. But you got to stop it. But I just had to let y'all know, yo, like that's how the EBT system started. And y'all are just tourists. Yo, if you feel some kind of way about food stamps or a native person or a black slave having food stamps, you feel like it's unfair. That means you're a tourist. You don't know what the fuck is going on out here. You need to sit the fuck down somewhere, open up a book and read and learn about the people here, the slaves here, the natives here. You need to learn something, because you being dumb as shit, feeling all kinds of emotions, gonna jam your whole nation of people up, which is what happened to Palestine. Your dumb ass don't know you connected to Palestine. You're related to them. Why don't you know you related to them? And that the shit that you do over here is jamming them up. So whenever you do dumb shit over here to whoever or people, any other nation, for example, Senor Sushi, y'all over there stealing sushi and shit, saying it belonged to you, and you getting people in Palestine blown the fuck up. That's why I said, the people that conquer the world know history. They read books about you because they have enemies everywhere. So they want to know about every fucking body. You don't give a fuck about nobody. You see what I'm saying? You got your own shit, right? You're not caring about what they doing. So understand, people that are the most afraid people are the wisest, cleverest, most knowledgeable, most prepared people for anybody. If you living in peace with a bunch of enemies in the world, meaning you living in peace just the wrong way, you just chilling, you don't give a fuck about nobody, you doing you, like you have your own power or whatever. So you control shit. So you're not caring about nobody else because you control shit. But if you living in peace like me, that means you found the creator. You have a source to restore peace to the world. It's just that you need everybody to wake up to that thing. Anyway, it's two different sides to peace or contentment. Like, it's two different types of contentment. There's one that with the creator and one that just from having a lot of power. All right, so living a guiltless life give you the same sense of power as if you were a rich man. All right, but you're not. So that's why I was trying to help people understand. Be holy. Be holy. Nothing against people. Have nothing against you. Yeah, so I just need y'all to understand that. If you ever came to America, or any of your family members from whatever nation you came from, Vietnam, China, whatever, India, even India, if you came over here and when you came here you saw streets and roads, you saw streets, roads, street signs, traffic signs, you saw beautiful looking cars, you saw McDonald's, Five Guys and shit like that. If you saw a modern city, a sophisticated city, cell phones and shit like that, you a big ass tourist. You don't know what's going on. Even if you came during the time where the first car was invented and the first plane was invented in America, if you were Asian or something like that, or wherever you were, and you came during that time, you're still a tourist. We look at you as still a tourist. You came to America before cars was here. Okay, you might not be a tourist. You came during the 13 colonies? Okay, you might not be a tourist. You came during the 13 colonies. It wasn't even America yet. We were here before it was the 13 colonies. And they used us to build their shit up. And then it was called America. Damn, y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? It was just 13 stars on the American flag. 13 stars. Now it's 50 stars. That's what I'm saying. That's why the Queen understood. She was there from the beginning. Like, yo, we been in this fight since the beginning. You popping up because they fucked you up at some point in time. Dropped the bomb on you, did some bullshit, came into your country and hurt your people, killed your people. You came over here just wanting to get a vendetta. You watching commercials and shit. You come over here from watching a commercial and just got a lot of anger for what they came over and did. You think you're just going to fight a nation of people. You're not realizing that this is not your typical place. It's not a nation. You not know it's a prison. So you come over to prison and you not having the holy creator, the true creator, you're going to get imprisoned. It's a reason why America's in power like that. They ride off of the world's evil. That's how. The world's evil. Men in every nation that run their nations that have evil in their heart or cravings or lust in their heart for things and physical things, and they worship false gods, they are the reason that their people get enslaved when they come to America. You send your agents over here. You send your spies over here. They get enslaved and they get trapped and they can't say shit. And you're trying to figure out what's happening to your people, and then you feel like nobody's understanding you and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they start your people inside start to learn about us, but then your people outside don't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and then y'all on social media looking at us on EBT and shit like that, feeling emotions because you watching TV, watching commercials. You don't know what the fuck. Learn something, pick up a fucking book before you feel emotions. That's like me not knowing what's going on with Palestine or whatever the case, but I got all kinds of emotions and shit. Or I don't give a fuck or something like that. It's because I don't know what's going on. But then I'm quick to say some shit or feel some shit. You know? So you can't do that. You know, speak on shit or feel things and try to say things about people you don't know about or what's going on with them. All right, so that's a true offense. But yeah, man, enough about y'all feeling all kinds of ways about the EBT system. The EBT system was always for slaves. Ever since 500 years ago, before it was called America, it was before it was even the 13 colonies, just a bunch of people fighting and shit, dragging us over here and shit. Then they end up coming up with the 13 colonies. And then after the 13 colonies, we was here for the whole shit, just working, slaved. Then the natives started deciding we gonna get up in there and buy some slaves and then mix breed with the slaves and then we gonna play a card. So they decided to play a card later, but they weren't slaves. They just went into the back of the forest and shit where they was afraid to go to because they stayed on the coast. They ain't going all the way in the back. They gonna die. You know, but then they start growing and growing because they're slaves. The slaves was just like, damn, these niggas is just like, yeah, yo, we slaves and shit. They got us working and shit. So they realized if y'all keep working for them niggas because you ain't got no choice, they gonna push us back. And that's what happened. So what you gonna do? Are we gonna have a blood pact? So we then had a blood pact with each other. Have a blood pact with each other, mix bread and mix blooded, and then play the card and shit. We played that card ever since, shaking and baking. We've been playing that card ever since, and still playing the same card. Wasn't no Latinos, wasn't no Spanish speaking people, the Spanish people had slaves too when they came to the South area. They had slaves too. But we're the same tribe of Israel. We're Israel and they're Israel. You're not allowed to enslave your brother. So they're gonna get fucked up at the end. That's why America's coming after them. That's why a lot of Latinos are coming here. You know, and they employing them and stuff like that because they realize that you're not allowed to enslave your own brother, but you're of the tribe. They educated. They read books and realized who the Spanish people were. You're from the tribe of Ephraim and shit like that. You belong in places like Lebanon and shit like that. The same food, you're telling yourself with the food and shit. So they like, oh, you're Israelites? So now they're gonna, oh, you're Israelites masked behind Mexicans. You're Israelites masked behind Puerto Ricans and shit. You know, all y'all love Spanish so fucking much, you telling on yourselves by loving Spanish so much. So all of the Spanish loving people, you know, you love Spanish so hard where you don't like talking to people that don't speak Spanish. Now you put a target on yourself. Oh, they're Israelites. You tell on yourself. And then they're coming to enslave you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to do. Enslave you. By employing you. Yeah, you can get a job in America. Now you got you a slave. Next thing you know, they're going to start playing you and shit. So it's like that, man. But it's just like that. So y'all not being here in the beginning, Chinese people, Malaysians, Koreans, all of y'all was not here until something happened to your country. Even with Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that happened in the 1940s. You know, the Jewish people didn't occupy that land until the 1940s. We've been here since the 1500s. So we was here before even the Jewish people went into Israel and tried to occupy that shit. So we've been here for a long fucking time. You know, so nobody was here. If you came to America and you didn't see free water, not just free water, but there are certain kinds of water fountains you got to drink from. You can drink from the colored water fountain or the white water fountain. You didn't know that was a fucking battle. You would die or get your ass whipped or they would beat you to death if you drink from the white water fountain and not the colored water fountain. That's how petty shit was. You just a black person or a brown person or a native person trying to go to school or whatever the case. You trying to go to school because there's no segregated schools at the time. It's just integrated schools. So you got to go to a white school, or they started trying to mix schools and shit. It was like those beginning stages where you live in an area where your mother's a maid in some slave master's house, and by default you have a child, and your child goes to one of the white schools. They would beat your children up for just going to school and shit. Beat them up going to school and coming home from school, spitting on them, throwing shit on them, throwing milk on them, calling them niggers and shit, just for going to school. Then it started getting mixed where Now we got to get separate, segregated schools where we got black schools and we got white schools, because then we're going to start killing each other. But it turned out the way the black children, the slave children were more intelligent than the white children, and they felt intimidated, and they start coming through shooting our children up and shit. Gatling guns and shit like that coming through, shooting up our children because our test scores was better than theirs and shit. So it was crazy. A lot of shit happened. Wasn't no Chinese people here. It wasn't shooting them. No Chinese people, no Asian people, no Japanese people at that time. They only came when shit happened to them. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, they came. Then they came. Vietnam, then they came. Once upon a time in China, then they came. Philippines with Bong Bong Marcos and Ronald Reagan, then y'all came. Y'all came late after some shit happened to you later in time where we was already here. And then when you come here, you land on a plane and shit. Wasn't no planes invented when we was here. No such thing as a fucking plane. That came with the Wright brothers in America. As far as that goes, the Wright brothers invented planes in America. Y'all wasn't even here before the Wright brothers. Y'all came way after the Wright brothers, where now you got passports and planes and shit like that. Ships and shit, cargo ships and stuff. And then you come over here, you see McDonald's. You see a lot of roads and streets and signs. You're like, oh, this is a beautiful built up city and shit. They did a good job. You're not realizing the natives and the slaves built the whole shit and never got paid for it. We just died. Our people died. They're under the concrete that we paved. So when you go outside, or if you're outside now listening to this video, look around you. All of the shit that you're looking at right now while you listening to this video, or while you fucking walking down the street, or while you driving down the fucking road, relaxed and shit with the traffic signs all nice, red light, green light on time perfectly for you and shit. We did that shit. We invented the traffic light. The slaves did. We invented the traffic lights. We invented their shit, and they took our inventions and called it their own. So now you come into America think that these Caucasian people invented it. The natives and the slaves invented their shit. So all of this invention you see, all of this roads and pavements, all of the ideas of the structure of how the road should go, slaves did it. Our ancestors and our native ancestors built this shit because we knew we would get it back one day at the end. The promise of the Most High. So we went all in building it like it's our own. Even though they were slaving us to do it, we didn't get paid to do it, and we built it till we died. From exhaustion, my nigga. Working till exhaustion, and then you die. Sometimes they don't even give you food and water. Work your ass to death till you pass out and shit. Get another slave because they just felt some kind of way about you and shit. That energy still is within them. But because it's a paperwork system now, where they enslave you using paperwork and pencils and shit, digital paperwork. And they can just type some shit up and run your life by just making up some shit to type up. It's a digital paperwork slavery now. Back then it was a physical slavery. They actually gotta beat your ass and shit like that. So they can hide their emotions better today while trying to get at you later. But your dumbasses buying into it, and that's how they stay in power, by using the new people coming in America from the different nations to feel some kind of way about us so they can continue to use that paperwork shit to keep us enslaved. So they're using y'all to keep us enslaved. But then you not realizing, like, well, why the fuck y'all can't go back home and shit? Y'all not even thinking, where's your home? Where do you go? You're not thinking none of that shit. You thinking that because you're jealous of the EBT system. And now we at the point where we at now, where I'm explaining this shit to you because of your jealousy or envy of the EBT system. You wasn't fucking here. You didn't build one fucking thing in this country. You just comfortably riding down roads, comfortably going left and going right, comfortably stopping at the light signs and shit. Comfortably, everywhere you go has a nice road. Has perfect looking traffic and shit. You go to the Philippines, that traffic is a piece of shit. They need better traffic laws and shit. But slaves built the traffic laws. We did the traffic laws. So that's what I'm saying. You go to other countries, somebody call you a third world. You don't have people that think. Your people don't think. You don't care or nothing like that. Trash every fucking way. You don't have a waste management system or nothing. So that's why y'all envious of us. It's just envy. You look at America and get mad that they're so, you know what I'm saying? It'd be crazy like that. But people that started to understand, which was Chinese people, they started to understand by hugging us and shit. And then start building their shit up. That's why you see in China, they're working the shit out themselves. They're not working slaves, they're working themselves, but you can't enslave your own people. So don't enslave your own people. If you're going to work the shit out yourself, make sure you reward yourself. Make sure you reward yourself and your own people very, very good. if you're working the shit out yourself, but now you have an abundance of things like fruits and vegetables and this and that and the third by working the hell out yourself, because the reward comes. You saw that by coming to America, being in our hoods. Like Baltimore, we got Chinese stores on every corner. So corner stores and all the stores is Chinese ran. If you go further out into the county, it's Japanese stores and stuff like that. You know, then Filipino store wanted to pop up somewhere in our city and shit, somewhere off the offskirts and shit. Filipino store, V-Mart and shit on Ricestown and shit, up Ricestown. Then they erased the one on Ricestown because they scared our ass because they fucked me up and shit. They fucked me up when I went to Baltimore. I mean, when I went to the Philippines, fucked me up, robbed me and shit. So they ran from Ricestown and went to a further place where ain't no black people at. Thinking you running from, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is out, it's crazy. Yo, we'll come right out there where you at, yo. You're not thinking. We just don't want no Philippine food and shit. But we'll come out, we'll drive right out to the V-Mart and shit, wherever you at, drive out that motherfucker. Oh shit, black people, yeah, we got cars and shit. We just don't want to waste our gas coming out here to your ass. So it's like, you can't really run from us because you in America. But it's like what you did to one of the Baltimore people. And you setting up shop in Baltimore, making money and shit. So whatever the case, it's just y'all not understanding what's going on. You come over here, you get envious of us, and not realizing we built the system for free. We built it. We couldn't get paid or nothing. So what we have today is still the same system. Section 8, EBT, you know. Nothing new. It's just better now because we have an abundance of stuff. It's better now. So I'm walking around. I always was on food stamps. I was born in 1985. You know what I'm saying? Conceived in 1984. So I'm 40 years old. So I was always on stamps. My family was always on stamps. Everybody I knew in my hood was always on stamps. Everybody was on EBT, in my hood. So it was normal to apply for food stamps or be on EBT. If everybody in your hood or everybody you know, everybody you grew up with, your friends and everything were on EBT, you had select people that had good jobs. So you took the initiative to be like, yeah, I'd rather have the good ass job than be on EBT because you get more money, is worth more and shit like that. So you're like, yeah. But then you had those that were poor shit. So they stay on EBT. You ain't got shit. You on Section 8. It take you a long time to get it, but you on Section 8. You on food stamps and this, that, and the third, and that's it. You know? And that's your life. Growing up on food stamps and shit. Hot dogs and noodles. That's it. Hot dogs and noodles. 2 hot dogs and 2 packs of noodles. You good. If I eat 1 hot dog and 1 pack of noodles, you don't know that everybody in my hood, I'm saying something to everybody in my hood, something not right here, yo. Something not right here. Something not right. I only got 2 hot dogs and 1 pack of noodles. Hold on. There's no such thing as 2 hot dogs and 1 pack of noodles. There's 2 hot dogs and 2 packs of noodles. What's going on? Oh, I got 1 hot dog and 1 pack, and oh, something not right. My man got 1 hot dog and 1 pack of noodles. Nah, we're not doing that. You know, it's 2 hot dogs and 2 packs. You're not understanding. Like, a lot of shit happen here, man. All the way up to the point. You know, when you look at us like, I got to stay away from them, you end up getting fucked up. You want to stay close to the people that seem to be, I don't know, man. I don't know how y'all thinking about us. That's why I'm going to just leave it there. I don't know how y'all thinking about us. You know, like if you see a brown man walking up or you see a brown man and shit like that, you in California, you see brown people or Hebrew people, you're scared of them and shit. That means you're the problem. Instantly, we know that you're the problem. You shouldn't be afraid of us. You know, when you want to come close to us, we know that you're actually looking for answers. You're actually looking for solutions for your people. Otherwise, you wouldn't be running from us and shit. You know that somebody taught you something, or you're looking for answers. Something touched you to come to us. The spirit of the land touched you to trust us or something like that. Because then the spirit of the land, meaning the owners of the land, you know, touched you to say, go to these people. These are the owners of the land. Stay with them and shit. That's how China ended up coming over to Baltimore. They looking for answers and shit. So they end up, the spirit of the land, you know, they didn't come with disrespect. They came with respect. I don't want to come in here disrespecting nobody or nothing like that. So they came in the hood. We looked out for them. They looked out for us. And it's been like that ever since. But when you come in a different way, on some dumb shit, on some demon shit, you're gonna be the weak link for your people. Like that's what I'm saying. These Latinos come over on some dumb shit, on some, you know, whatever the fuck. I'm indigenous too and shit, but you just from the South. It's like, nah, don't come with the dumb shit because then you'll get fucked up. A lot of shit didn't happen, ain't the same as it used to be and shit before the colonizers came and we fighting over a territory and shit. It ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? So you can't come on no dumb shit. You gotta come educated. And you can't come with feelings and emotions, feeling some kind of way about somebody being on EBT. And I never seen somebody posted that shit online. I never seen a black person build a thing in my damn life. Like, damn, you a fucking tourist. Like, you a tourist. You a whole tourist. That's how you know. Only tourists come over here and feel some kind of way about black people. And Caucasian people see that shit. They sit back and watch how you feel about us. Please understand what I'm saying. They sit back when you come to America and watch, or they look on social media and watch what you say and how you feel. That's why they want you to be agents and shit. They want you to be agents and shit so y'all can all be in tune. So they can sit back and watch and feel how you feeling about us and what you're saying about the slaves here. That's how they feel. That's how they think. They sit back and watch. Because there's no way possible that you're educated about slavery or you know what's going on here actually and you feel some kind of way about us. When you feel some kind of way about us, it's a lose-lose. You don't want to do that for fake and you don't want to do that for real. You know, because our slavery is not a game. It's our lives, our people on the line. So things like that, yo. That's how another reason why how Palestine got hit. People feelings, emotions and shit like that. Feelings and emotions about the slaves over here. You thinking we can just do whatever the fuck we want or we can just walk away and shit like free people. You're not thinking we not free. You still have emotional, ancient vendettas and feelings and emotions. You're not even understanding the whole story. Your own people even lied to you. If you followed Islam, the number one way we know you got lied to because you follow Islam. You don't even know the history about Islam. Islam wasn't always the belief system. It wasn't always the case. It didn't always exist, is what I'm saying. At some point in time, this shit popped up and people start worshiping the shit. So that's how we know that you don't know what the fuck going on and got lied to by you being an Islamist or a Muslim or Muslim or whatever the case. So all of this shit distracts you, yo. Lies distract you from the truth, but not only distract you from the truth, it destroys your people. Because you riding on a lie for whatever reason or just to eat or some shit, you're being the weak link of your people. And then they can take advantage of that shit at any time and destroy your people. And you be trying to sacrifice other people and shit for your lack of and shit. And that don't last that long. Because then people die, right? And then who you got to cover for you? A truth seeker or somebody like me that cover for you already. You need someone else like me, a replacement. And you don't have one. So now you got to cover for yourself. And if you live in a lie, they're going to get your ass. So this whole time you don't know that these people that want to conquer the world is angry as shit that I'm alive, covering for you while you out there wherever you at in the world living a lie. So when I die, it's nothing stopping them from fucking you up, living a lie still. And y'all just be comfortable with this shit. Why you got the opportunity is for you to live the truth because you get the same thing. Food, shelter, clothing, get the same thing. Making a vow with the true creator. I just don't. Whatever the case, man, it's just the people who run the world they're too educated on the truth to let shit slide anymore. So whereas though you can just worship your own God and be okay, you got an enemy out here that lives and know the truth. Well, they don't live the truth, they know the truth or whatever the case, and they studied on you. And if you don't follow the truth, they can destroy you. There's a physical people out here, and their names are Americans and shit. Caucasian Americans or whatever. Romans or whatever. And they'll come to your place, spy you out. If they find out you're following a false god, they'll kill you. Or see something they like and they'll see something in your country they like, also see that you're following a false god, and then use that to kill you. And say that none of your gods could deliver you from me because it's a false god. So now you got to come out of your pride and you got to humble down, and then you need to find a true creator. And then you maintain your power. It's not that you lose power for following the true creator. It's just that you have to adjust some things. And you have to throw away some things and get the dirt out of your system, get the dirt out of your culture, and repair your culture and make it clean. Just clean it up. Don't change your whole. You don't got to change your whole shit. So it's like that, yo. It's like y'all just not fully understanding it. I just need to say that, yo. I really needed to say that, but what I'm saying is the sophisticated stuff. If I was somebody in the hood, every black Hebrew person that's a slave in this country will turn on any fucking body. If you feeling some kind of way about us on eat food stamps, my nigga. You come to America, you feeling some kind of way about a black person that's a slave, that's a descendant of slaves, a native, being on food stamps, they gonna kill your ass. You got Judge Lynn here. What they say? Like, yeah, they mad that I got food stamps and shit. Who mad? You got food stamps and shit. You gonna see a different side of Judge Lynn. Why? Because she was on food stamps when she was coming up. Every black slave here was on fucking food stamps. You just took that step to try to like be a powerful person one day. You actually took a step and they put a lot of trust in you. Like, yeah, you gonna be the next one. Now you got Judge Lynn. She did it. Shorty, she a judge, clapping it up. Cause she came from food stamps and shit. Wanted to make a way for her people and shit. Wanted to be a power force for her people. You know what I'm saying? Divorce court and shit like that. So that's a powerful thing to see. You know, somebody come from food stamps to being a judge. Because normally you only stay at food stamps, Section 8 projects. Nothing. So she's a powerful person just for being a judge. That's not no, her mind, her heart for her people got to be strong. You can't just, she's not a weak woman at all. I mean, she loved her men, her women, her people. She just fucked up because people fucking her up in the process, but that's the strength. So if you talking about me talking about this, like, man, you boring as shit. Now that I'm boring as shit and you don't want to hear what the fuck I gotta say, you gotta go to Judge Lynn and hear what she gotta say about food stamps. It's gonna be worse. You even go to Oprah, my nigga. You can't even go to Oprah and be like, why are these people always on food stamps? What you say? You gonna see a whole nother side of Oprah, my nigga. She almost rocked to death in that jail till you felt some kind of way about food stamps. I damn near rocked to death. These niggas crazy. What you say about food stamps, nigga? If you know what we been through, came out the box on you, some purple on your ass. Same way. Anybody, yo. Anybody that's a black person, that's a black man, black woman, that's a slave, descendants of slaves, whether they rich or poor. You know what I'm saying? If you feel some kind of way about their people being on food stamps, you gotta go. Even and they could, just in case you knew black people, you younger black people now have a social media world and you were born into fame and you were born into luxury and shit like that. Just in case y'all dumbasses want to be stupid, you need to do history on your people and realize what the fuck going on. Our people have always been on food stamps. We are fucking slaves. We never had shit. If you were born into fame and fortune, that is a big power move that your family members did to be in a position like that. It could be an honor or it could just be stupid and shit, dependent. But still, it's a power move. Everybody can't do that. You end up staying in the hood on food stamps and the projects with nothing, selling drugs and shit. So I just need y'all to understand, man. The new people need to be put in check. The new black people need to be put in check because y'all born into riches and shit. But those of us who are still born into slavery, born in the hoods and shit, EBT is all we got. You know, when we fall on hard times or we can't make it and shit, we run back to the system. We don't have a country to run back to. Indians ain't over here trying to really take us back to India. They mad that we gone and want to get rid of us and shit. You know, want to control us and shit. Niggas put a worm in my ear and shit off of feelings and emotions and shit, feeling like I don't deserve this or some shit. Somebody disrespectfully did that shit to me, like on some ancient vendetta shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit changed a whole lot. I'm mixed blooded like a motherfucker. The Indian in them was like, oh, you ran up, my nigga, I'm Ethiopian as well and shit. As well as Japanese. Like you so fucking tunnel vision, you thinking feelings and emotions about me on one side of my blood. We had to mix blood to survive, my nigga. How you can become Japanese and shit, right? Shit is happening. You ain't the only fucking person that got a problem with this place. You know what I'm saying? You just want to be tunnel vision with this shit. So it's too big of a thing. So it's like the ancient blood is still can be the blood, but the governors of this blood now are heavenly people or people from hell, because the blood is so mixed up. You have to have the heavenly hosts or the heavenly angels come down and govern these bloods, because the disrespect of force breeding us. The forced breeding caused us to make agreements to breed out amongst each other. So since they're going to take our women anyway, what we're going to do is come into an agreement and marry each other and catch up with theirs. They having sex on porn level shit day and night like a motherfucker, busting nuts and shit. We got to do the same shit. But before we do the same shit, we got to do it the right way, and we got to make agreements and vows and shit to love each other and to care for each other and to have your wife. But once you get a wife, you on some porn shit, like not doing porn, but you having sex like y'all porn stars and shit, just fucking the shit out of each other, trying to have children, trying to get that nut off, trying to get the children to come forth. That's what you're trying to do, but you did it the right way by coming into an agreement, coming into a pact with each other's tribes, and started giving your women in marriage to the other tribes and stuff so we can survive. You did it the right way, and then you start having crazy ass sex with the, you know what I'm saying? But in porn, they just do that shit, just breeding you, no fucks given, no agreement, and then you just become another slave. Whatever, man. It's just a mess, yo. There's so much I can say about it. But Miss Judge Lynn is way older than I, and she can say way more than me. I'm in 85, and this is as much as I'm saying in the history that I know, but she lived through the history. She's a living piece of the history, so she got way more to say. Now go to her and ask her, and then you, same way you feel about me going up into 7-Eleven swiping my card for EBT, the same way you feel about that. I'm swiping my card, EBT. You feeling some kind of way? This nigga keep on getting that, even that EBT shit, boy. That EBT, you feeling some kind of way about that? I got robbed for my food stamp card. That was never heard of. When my people in Baltimore heard that I got robbed for my food stamp card, they knew that we got some food stamp tourists up this motherfucker. It's a bunch of people here that don't know what the fuck going on. Cause how did you see a black person that's a slave and felt like I need to take his food stamp card from him? Nobody feels that. The fact that I was able to accumulate as much food stamp that I did was because it was a extreme respect thing out of my city. Extremely respect. Like, yo, we respect you so much, you'll go in and store up that food stamp so when you go back out there, you good and shit. They wanted me to be good, so I ended up having thousands of dollars, $1,000 worth of food stamps because I was able to save up. Then I come over here, niggas mad as shit I got food stamps. Trying to rob me for my food stamp card. It's a whole different shit. So it's a bunch of tourists over here. Food stamp tourists. Niggas that's here that don't know what happened here. And they about to get enslaved for not knowing what happened here. You mad at a black person that's a slave for food stamps having EBT. You about to be the next slave, yo. You don't even know that. You can't feel some kind of way. You can't expect me to have remorse about some shit that you don't know what's going on. You just see me randomly popping up feeling like, come on, man, you need to spend some money on some food. Stop spending food stamp. Like, bitch, fuck you. You know what we been through? Fuck is you mean? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. And if I say it like that, it means you're not understanding something. You're not understanding something about our people. How many people? You're not understanding that. Oh, my nigga. You just popped up off a fucking plane and shit. And feeling emotions and shit. You popped up off a plane. You had social media and shit. You was able to find me on some wireless shit. You had a car, drove that shit on some rental car shit. And the streets and roads were so nice and sophisticated for you. Everything built up is nice and comfortable and shit. Back then, where was you at? You ain't pop up on back then. When it wasn't no planes enough. It pop up on a ship. Come through this motherfucker through the forest and the woods and the twigs. The poisonous snakes and shit. Come up in this motherfucker and help us and shit. Hide in the motherfucking forest and shit with us. You want to be popping up, renting a car. Ain't no rental cars, nigga. Pop up then. When we getting shot the fuck up. Our women getting raped and shit. People taking our land from us. You popping up when everything already taken and built up and shit. Fuck out of here. And then be like, come on, man. Food stamps, man. Come on, stop. Bitch, go do food stamps in your own country. That's my problem. If you angry, like, that's another thing. That's my main thing. Why the fuck are you coming over here feeling some kind of way about EBT for our people that's given to black people as slaves? When you don't do that shit for your people. That's letting you know America's looking at that shit like, damn. So they would not even have enough remorse to make an EBT system for their own lowly people. China, Philippines, this place, that place. I'm noticing it too. Y'all so fucking disrespectful and full of pride that you don't even have a government system that helps your people. That's why when you go to the Philippines, niggas just standing around or playing fucking basketball, waiting for the next bitch and then start having sex with her ass. Looking for somebody to scam and shit. Trash every fucking where. Because you're not making a system for your people to go to school for free, to get free lunches, and to have an EBT system for your people. And what come with an EBT system comes with working. You have to work the ground. And that's what you're missing. Yes, you're working. You working and you're not getting paid, But the labor the labor that comes from, or the producer, the labor that comes from your labor or whatever, is the food. The fact that you get food on an allowance system every month because you poor, you don't have it. So your work actually pans out. This is also for the good Caucasian Americans. This was also a benefit for us. They were like, this is a good idea because a lot of our slaves didn't get freedom. They were not, or rather, they were not able to buy their liberty. They were not able to get 40 acres and a mule, a promise of land. A lot of them were left ass out after all the labor they gave us. So, because they knew some of the slave masters were bitches and pieces of shit and still wanted to be hard and shit. So they was feeling some kind of way about that. Like, man, that's fucked up. Some of our own people still want to think fucked up after they did all of that work for us and shit. So they put a system into play. And that's how that ended up becoming a split back then. You know, the John Hancock days and shit. Becoming a split because of the slaves. Some people were good-hearted. Some people weren't. You know? So now we way at the time where we got Miss Nancy Pelosi and all this shit. They running in the Capitol and shit. Because all of the Caucasian people were not of the same mind. Some of them were like, fuck the slaves. I still want these niggas to be my niggas. I ain't letting them go. They like, well, we need to give them something. You know? For an apology of slavery. They like, ain't no, for the apology of slavery, they feel different. Just give them fucking EBT and then, you know, make them go to work and shit. That's what they thinking. Give them something till they find some work and shit and tax their ass. But they like, no, just give them something just for their heart. You know, there's differences of thought even in amongst their own people. Some think we need to stay slaves. Some think we need to be free. So there's a clash with themselves. But the system was still made, you know. So what y'all need to do in your own fucking countries is look at your people that's suffering, struggling and shit. I saw the Chinese candy man, the cotton candy man and shit. I added him on my Instagram. He make cotton candy for a living and shit. But he down and out like a fucking slave and shit. He need to be on fucking EBT. Now, if your country had an EBT system, he can do cotton candy, but because cotton candy don't pay so much, the government supports them. That's why if you make a certain amount of money or make under a certain amount of money, you get food stamps, my nigga. It's not like you saying, I don't want to work. It's like you saying you could be disabled or you could have a job that don't pay shit. You could be a janitor. You don't pay it. It don't pay enough. You can't live out this bitch with the cost of living so high off of being a janitor. So you get the EBT system. So you get an EBT. That's what it was for. Now it's not for you to be popping the fuck up. You know, Mr. Rico Suave and shit, being a new janitor and shit, coming from wherever the fuck he came from, out of nowhere. Nigga was not here before McDonald's was here. First time he came to America, you saw McDonald's, my nigga, you was not here. So now you feeling kinds of ways because you don't like this janitor job and shit. And you looking at black people like, this nigga need to be working and doing a janitor job instead of me and shit. I'm not even from the West Coast or from the East Coast, and they don't even know shit about me. All my people. Like, I'm on food stamps like a lot of people my age on food stamps. You go to the East Coast, it's more of us. So you're going to see a lot of people 40 years old on food stamps, my nigga, with jobs that pay low paying jobs. I can be a janitor in Baltimore. I could just clean the floors and mop the floors in the bathrooms and shit in Baltimore City Community College and then get on food stamps. Because it don't pay enough. That's what it was about. The EBT system was a support system. You know, and also for those who are disabled like myself. I'm fucked up. I'm going for SSI. I can't do it no more. I'm 40 years old, but my body broken. Niggas put a worm in my fucking ear and shit. Now she just living in that motherfucker. Niggas don't want me to go to the fucking hospital and get the worm out. They want the worm to kill my ass and shit and drain my ass to death and shit. They did that shit. Everybody know a worm in my ear and they let them do that shit because they feeling some kind of way about the fucking food stamps. They robbed me from a food stamp card. Like, give me that shit. I went back to Baltimore, got a new food stamp card and shit. And they like, how the fuck? I had a Baltimore food stamp card. But them dumbasses, like, I didn't even get a Baltimore food stamp card. I stayed here in California and got a California EBT. Like, how the fuck this nigga get food stamps again? Like, what the fuck? So if they rob me from a food stamp card again, or cut me and shit, I can just go to Baltimore and get food stamps, my nigga. Like, y'all, this is y'all thinking. You're not realizing that all 50 states have EBT. Why do they have EBT? Slavery. You're just not thinking, yo. You're not thinking. And it's sad, but fucked up at the same time that you came here and you working and shit, and you're not really getting paid much yourself. that's where you start to see and notice that America's about to start fucking you up and betraying you. They played you, and you mad as shit. We knew that shit too. You came over. We thought that y'all was about good intentions, but when y'all start disrespecting us and shit like that, we was like, know what? We gonna stay back and watch this. We gonna sit back and watch y'all ass. Think y'all about to run some shit on some unity shit and watch how y'all get enslaved and shit. We gonna sit back and watch it, cause y'all stupid. You know, you can't come into a situation like we're gonna take the whole shit over, not giving people jobs and shit. It's a fair system. You coming in here like everybody sit back watch the Spanish people try to conquer America and shit by not letting niggas get jobs and shit. We gonna take over the jobs. I'm gonna work at McDonald's now. Come to Baltimore, you ain't gonna see nothing but black people working in there. Go to any other state. You know what I'm saying? That's not over here in California. You're going to see black people working at McDonald's. You're going to see Caucasian people working at McDonald's. You're going to see the lowly poor people working at McDonald's. You have a Caucasian person, she poor. They call her white trash or she a trailer park trash. Whatever they call them. But she not that, but she just poor. Or you go to Pigtown in Baltimore. They down and out. They get on food stamps. They Caucasian people, but they down and out suffering. So they get on food stamps. They ain't got shit. You work at McDonald's. You ain't got shit. Amanda Nicole, she a OnlyFans star now, but she was working at McDonald's, my nigga. You see a Caucasian person working at McDonald's? Oh shit. I remember I went to Pennsylvania. One time. I went up into the fast food spot. I saw white people in there. I'm like, oh shit, I respect every last Caucasian person up in this motherfucker. You working at McDonald's, my nigga. I never seen a white person poor or working at McDonald's before. Like that was respect. So it's understandings about things. You just not from here, yo. It's just too much to explain to y'all asses, yo. It's too much to fucking explain. Tourists and shit. Food stamp tourists. That's why I call you food stamp tourists. Y'all niggas come over here just to watch niggas spend food stamps and shit on food and shit and try to and be amazed at how the fuck we just can eat for free and shit. Like you came all the way from your luxury. You came from behind the Great Wall into your royalty and shit. You royal as shit. You know what I'm saying? And you like, oh no, and shit, like, took off your clothes and shit, this, that, and the third, and then, oh, my queen, princess, and shit, whatever, however y'all royally greet each other, I'm going on a journey and shit, I'll be back. Nobody knowing shit, it's a whole story and shit, you go past the Great Wall through a secret way, and this, that, and the, and all the ancient shit y'all know, and y'all come over here, next thing you know, you acting like a regular person, you come to the Republic side of the Chinese people, all up in Shenzhen and shit like that, regular clothes, let me get these, how y'all do it, Adidas, let me get the regular clothes, learn a little bit of American stuff, catch a plane to come to America. Just, you did all of that bullshit to fit in and all that to try to learn American ways just to watch black people, black slaves, eat for free on food stamps and shit. And be amazed and shit. Some of y'all just be envious, like, why the fuck is they eating for free? It's crazy to me, yo. Y'all, how stupid y'all are about history and what's going on. Like, you don't really want to know. You don't really want to know. You just want to be mad. So we catch our asses and be like, why the fuck don't you know? Why you got mad? Why were you so quick to be mad? How did you find me? How did you know my location? How the fuck do you know my whereabouts? How you know what the fuck I'm doing every moment of the day, but you don't know the history about why the fuck I got food stamps and shit? How the fuck you know everything except that and shit? How the EBT got started? Tell me something about the 13 colonies. Tell me something about our people. You know everything about me, but tell me about my people and why we on food stamps. Then we'll start to look at you like you have the right kinds of feelings and emotions and shit. It's crazy, yo. Niggas that don't know shit about us come to America feeling all kind of shit about us and don't give a fuck to learn. You say Black History Month, they be like, fuck Black History Month, black people ain't. And then you look at Black history, it's only talking about slavery and shit. It's a reason why they only teach us that we were slaves. Like, we came before slavery, but they only teach us that we were slaves. You're not even looking at that. You don't even go to school and shit. Like, maybe, I'm thinking, like, what do y'all even go to school? Like, I don't see, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not in elementary school anymore. I came up in a time where it wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe y'all teach yourselves, y'all. I don't know what it is. But I didn't see no Asians in my schools. And had no Spanish people in my school. None of that shit. It's just black people. Black people and just select white Caucasian person. Like 2 white people. And just the everybody else is black Hebrews and natives and shit. Like, you know. That's it. It's just us and shit. It's crazy, yo. Maybe it's that zone school mess. So maybe y'all did go to school, but y'all went to a school further out, some shit. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just tripping. Y'all just want to know. Like, I want to know why y'all feeling kinds of ways. Y'all a tourist and shit. You don't know what the fuck going on. So yeah, I'm gonna let it end right here, and I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna put it on my people. Because I know if I put it on my people now saying this much, they're gonna fuck y'all up. I can't calm them down. It's not gonna be no mercy. You think it's gonna be mercy? It's gonna be way worse with them. You trying to feel some kind of way about them swiping the EBT card than with me, my nigga. I'm giving you the cordiality of it and trying to understand where y'all trying to see where we. I'm trying to understand y'all and all that shit too. So I'm slow and stuttering and shit, but I really don't understand where y'all coming from, feeling some kind of way about us, but I'm trying. So I'm stuttering and shit. Let them talk. You fucking around get shot. You fucking around have a war. All the black people in America is gonna go to war with whoever the fuck feeling some kind of way about any black person being on EBT. You're a descendant of slaves, a descendant of natives. Yeah, fuck them niggas. You gonna get is instantly gonna be that. Fuck you. You for your tourist ass. Get the fuck out of here. When you come, first time you came to America, you went to McDonald's, my nigga. You saw a bunch of beautiful ass shit. You didn't see forests and trees and shit. Fuck out of here. Stop feeling shit. Popping up, feeling shit. Learn something. Niggas ain't take a black history class ever. Well, Black America, African America, whatever. You ain't take no classes on black history in school ever, my nigga. And you feeling shit. Just for working at a store. Niggas be forgetting that they in America, working in the American system, making American dollars and shit. And then start feeling emotions and shit. Like, why you on the EBT system and shit? Bitch, you in America. I'm in America. The fuck is you mean? So I was like, yo. It's crazy, yo. People be blindside, and then you got the Caucasian man standing outside the 7-Eleven window looking at how you're at dumbass feeling emotions and shit about the EBT system. Like, wow, that's amazing. They really are envious of the people and shit. They don't know what the fuck we did to them. The more you feel emotions about me as an individual person for spending food stamps and shit, you expose your people and shit. Like you a dumbass person. And they just watching like, damn, we owe these people, black people, every fucking thing. We owe slaves every fucking thing. We owe them everything. They built the whole country, and they just sat back and pointed fingers and shit. Do this, do that, do this. They ain't put no fingers to work. We did. And they owe us every fucking thing. We spend food stamps. You feel some kind of way about that shit. Like, damn. And they be observing that shit, waiting to turn on your ass. That's why you get the president, we gonna nuke your asses and shit. How the fuck you feel like that? How the fuck do the government system of America keep one up in every nation? Because when you fuck with the lowest slave, that's what the only people they looking at is us, slaves. America, the highest level people of America, even the UK, the only people they looking at are the slaves. They not looking at nobody else. How do the slaves feel? What's happening to the slaves? So when any of the nations that's here, setting up shop, got stores and shit, you got a store, but you don't accept EBT. That's a problem. That's a problem. You can't come to America and be like, we don't accept EBT. That's a problem, yo. We see it as a problem. But I got so much respect for Japan that I was like, I don't even give a fuck. If I got a couple dollars and shit, I'll spend it. It's worth it because Japan gave me everything. But you can't rock with that forever, because when you become part of somebody's system and you're not part of the system, you operate against the system. And then you fuck the people up that's the slaves here. We don't got shit. We don't have a country and shit to go to. So when you break the system, we just starve and die and shit. We can't go back. Ain't no home to go back to. Your ass can just go the fuck back. Oh, we broke America, broke the system. Let's go home and shit. Everybody going home. We the only ones sitting on the fucking ground and shit with a gun to our head. Now y'all take your asses home. Go ahead. Wherever y'all going at and shit. Well, why you ain't going? Why you ain't moving and shit? Why you ain't leave? Bitch, I'm from here. This is my land. Niggas finally realized that at the end. This is our land and shit. Y'all walking home after you destroyed America. Bombed some places. Ain't shit out here. Ain't no food. Ain't nothing but a little girl with a gun to her head. A teenage girl with a gun to her head. How the fuck she get a gun? And why is it at her head? And ain't nobody giving a fuck. And they taking who the fuck taking a picture and shit? You don't know what the fuck going on. And y'all just walking home. Yeah, we had destroyed America and shit. Go back to your home. Go back to your country. Go back to your house, your families and shit. Go back to your food and shit. It's easy to work for something if it's yours. You know what I'm saying? This is ours anyway, so we worked it anyway. Because this is our land. So we worked it anyway and built it up. But it's supposed to be given back to us. So it's hard to work for something that somebody's not trying to give back to us. Because it's going to stay in your hands. So it's crazy, yo. That's how we look at it. We look at y'all like you don't give a fuck about us because you know that we assume that y'all know that if y'all destroy America, we gonna be destroyed with it, or we just gonna be still sitting here. You're not gonna take us to your country, and if you do take us to your country, it like you gonna kill our ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we see it. We just gonna be stuck here while y'all sailing the fuck off or catching the next plane back home and shit. Hey yo, those black people still there and shit. Why they still there? Go to Africa and shit. Yeah. Like them niggas not from Africa, yo. Why the fuck they not from Africa? What's going on? Niggas don't want to start thinking after the math and shit. So, hey, Israelites, yo. They Israelites, yeah, those Jewish people, yeah, they not the real people. The real people is the slaves in America, the black people. They Israelites. They just called them black to hide their identity and shit. Why the fuck they call them black then? They try to make it a spiritual thing like they demons and shit. So when you come from wherever the fuck you come from and you hear black man, the only thing you thinking is a demon. They call them black man because they burnt them out. They don't got no more energy left. They slaves. They so fucking burnt out as slaves. They're black, not demons. Like oil, just burnt the oil out so fucking hard, start drying out and shit. You can't even unplug the shit, and the oil come out from the bottom. That shit clogged up, burnt that shit out. They're Hebrew Israelites. They belong in Israel, but they working together to make sure they don't get free. That's why when I went to the kosher market, you ain't see not one Hebrew in that motherfucker. You went to the kosher market, but your dumb ass ain't realized ain't no Hebrews in there. Kosher is a Hebrew word. No Hebrews in the kosher market. Just random ass other people. So Filipino in there, Filipino man in there. You know, then you have the Jewish people and shit from Europe and shit. Ashkenazim, Yafet, the children of Yafet, Ashkenazim. Then you got a couple Latinos and shit in the back and shit. Then you got the guy for Seinfeld talking about don't double dip the chip and shit. Look just like don't double dip the chip. The double, double dip yo and shit. Like, don't double dip the chip. That's why I keep respecting him and shit. I'm like, right, don't double dip the chip and shit. He look like, you take a fork and a knife to cut the Snickers and shit. Him and shit. The funniest guy in Seinfeld that always got an issue with every fucking thing, but he funny as shit with Kramer and shit. I'm like, yeah, I can respect the double dip the chip guy. So I always go back to the double dip the chip guy and shit. And then Kramer want to pop up in the background looking like Kramer and shit. Like, all right, I can do it for Kramer and double dip the chip and shit. All right. But yeah, that's all the only people you see in there. That kind of like you can respect. That I kind of had a respect for the guy that looked like the guy for Seinfeld and shit. Then the girl that was on Seinfeld was from Baltimore. Whatever. So yeah, man. But everybody else is just somebody else in that bitch, like Spanish people and shit. Fucking Spanish people doing in the kosher market. Well, okay, they Latinos. They're from Ephraim. So Ephraim is in the kosher market. They belong there. That's their shit. That's their shit. Ephraim. All right, you know that. You're not Mexican. You're not Spanish. You're Ephraim. You speak Hebrew naturally. It's your native language. Okay, you in the place that you in the place that you belong. You might know that. All right, but the Filipino. Okay, Filipinos doing it here. Was that Zeppelin? Or was that what? What are you, Zebulon or something else? You know, if you know you Zebulon, okay, you where you supposed to be. You working in here. Only people not working is the Yehudim, the tribe of Yehuda, the royalty. Ain't no royalty. Just a bunch of scattered people and the Jewish people. So ain't nothing ever gonna work and shit because you ain't got no king. So, and that's the funny thing too. The fact that Israel is a nation that has a king, a royalty, a government. We had King David, King Solomon. We have a government and a culture and a system. And people sitting here trying to enslave us and shit and take us to their countries and shit like that. Feeling kinds of ways about us. We're sovereign already. We just got re-enslaved on some dumb shit because they not wanting to listen. But if we come back to the Most High, we come back to our government that we always had. Melech the Wad, Masha, Moses as you call him. Masha, Musa, Melech the Wad, Shlomo, Solomon. These people already, Abraham, these people already existed and already established the government. So it's not for us to come to your government and slave ourselves and re-enslave ourselves to your government. It's for us to uphold our own government, which is the nation of Israel. Okay? And stop being split. Because of that stupid ass split, you got two different kings and shit. King of Yehuda, and they want to make their own kings up. So it's confusing people and shit. No, it's just one king of Yehuda that oversees the whole entire Israel. You just need to choose the right one. Or the right one needs to be ordained by the Most High. Sorry. But yeah, man. It's also a lot about that, yo. So Palestine, all that stuff, the bombings and stuff that happened in Palestine, Syria, and all that stuff. That's Ephraim, yo, which Mexican people are doing. You change your names and called yourselves Mexicans and shit, and you start doing devil worship and shit. So you ended up getting your people bombed up and shit. Yes, you did. Everything connects. You're not just doing whatever you want to do and you disconnected. You are connected still to your blood, where you originally come from. Even though you were in the nativity, you came here to serve the Most High. You turned against the Most High, start serving demons and shit, and then ended up getting your own people killed. That's serving demons over there and shit, which is the Islam. It's a demon god. It's a devil. It's one of the Satans, Mr. Az, the death god, which is Satan, one of the Satans. So they serving Satan, y'all serving Satan. So you end up getting them blown up because over here you own Mexico. Nobody can tell you what to do. You own this shit right here. So because you own it, nobody can get to you or fight you. So what they did was get to you anyway through your blood, through the people that's in Palestine and shit like that. They start bombing them instead. Like, we gonna bomb them over here and shit, because they can't come over here and bomb Mexico, because then it's gonna hit America. And then America got an excuse to fight back. So they looking at all that shit. Now, if y'all know that too, and you understand all that I said, leave me the fuck alone about EBT. The fuck is you even feeling emotions for? But if you're a food stamp tourist, please know that y'all women all around the world doing whatever to eat and shit. And here it is, you see a man like me apply for food stamps and just be eating every month and shit. And that's all you ever wanted, was to eat. Now this man homeless as shit, but he eating and shit. He ain't gotta do nothing. He ain't gotta do nothing stupid or nothing like that, right? It's gonna always be like that so long as I can't get off my feet. I can't get on my feet, and I can't. I gotta apply for SSI, so I'm always gonna be in government assistance now. They're just not trying to give it to me. But yes, I'm supposed to be on government assistance. So EBT, cash assistance, SSI. My body broken. I can't actually work physically. My body broken, so I can't work. I also would have stayed with my cable job. So. And every black person in this country would understand that. Yeah, man, he fucked up. Just gonna take care of him. Take care of my man. You know what I'm saying? Got this to happen, that happened, ran over, but he fucked up. So he did his best. We want to just take care of him type shit. SSI type shit. And y'all feel emotions and shit because y'all countries don't take care of y'all. I'm sad about it, but it's like, damn. I want to do something. I want to say something, but can't. I'm not from there. Like the Philippines. I'm like, yo, y'all don't go to school for free? Y'all don't get free lunch and shit? Like, no, you got to pay for everything. You got to pay for school. You got to pay for paper. You got to take a test to pass the test to graduate, but you got to pay for the goddamn test. You don't get free lunch. You got to pay for lunch. You got to have money for lunch and shit. So going to school is expensive. But they do that on purpose so that you won't become educated and they think you want to rise above them. So it's like, damn, the fuck? So you see other type of Filipinos, going to school and shit. They look more Caucasian looking. They go to school and shit. Eva Joy Badaquillo came all the way to America. Now she's in Baltimore, Maryland. You see nothing but black, brown people and shit. Now you're like, damn, all these people look like Visayan and shit. Like, right. All these people look Visayan and shit. But we in here running the school system. Then you realize, hold on. How y'all going to school for free? Bitch, FAFSA, nigga. Financial aid. So talk to Eva Joy just like that. FAFSA, nigga. The fuck is you mean? Talk to her just like that, just so she won't get it twisted. Why you not speaking English? Bitch, fuck English. Fuck as you mean? FAFSA, bitch. Type it in. FAFSA dot whatever the fuck. And give me that fucking federal assistance, my nigga. Give me that grant. Go to school on a grant, nigga. I'm a slave. Give me that grant money. Ain't no loans out this bitch. That's why when everybody saw that I owe a student loan and shit, they laughed at that shit. How you owe a student loan at FAFSA? Everybody in Baltimore was like, fuck that goddamn loan. Ain't no goddamn loan. That shit don't count to your credit, nigga. Fuck that loan. Ain't no loan. You're a slave. You ain't got shit. Everybody know. Apply for FAFSA grants, nigga. If a school, Fortis College, we don't accept grants. Bitch, shut the fuck up. We got Fortis College in Baltimore, nigga, right up the street. Niggas up there, in the black people in that bitch all day long doing the nursing shit and all that on FAFSA. A bunch of women applying for, fuck out of here. Ain't no franchise shit. Fuck you. Apply for a grant, my nigga. Ain't paying no loan. Fuck is you talking about? They crazy. So I'm like, yo, y'all stupid. Yo, y'all think I'm not from here. So they start trying to play you and shit because you don't look like what they did to survive and shit. What they did to survive was mixed with the Caucasian people. What we did to survive was mixed with the Hebrews, slaves and shit. So they looking at us, they can't tell we natives. We looking at them and feeling like they white people and shit. So two different ways of survival, not understanding each other through the history. You trying to play us and shit, but we never tried to play y'all. We understood. Wow, we mixed with the slaves. So the blood is still, the intent is still pure. So we riding all around America, meaning well. You know what I'm saying? We don't have bad energy. But y'all with that Caucasian energy and y'all playing people and shit, doing all kinds of funny shit to survive, y'all the demon side of shit. But yeah, we not the demon side of shit. But still we natives all together. Demon side or non-demon side. So we come off to be the more peaceable people, the more respectful and shit. We won't play you and shit. We'll just fucking kill your ass and die. We'll kill you then die, my nigga. We that hard. I'll kill your ass. You know, you gotta kill. I'll kill your ass, even though you gonna kill me back. I'll kill the shit out your ass. At least I got one and shit. Give me one good one and shit. Get that one good one and then I'm out. At least he got him and shit. That's how we still think. Y'all motherfuckers be playing and catfishing and shit. Fuck out of here. But whatever the case, I found a better way, which is why I'm still surviving and thriving and I'm not dead yet. You know, from the East Coast, is because we find the Most High. You live right, you do it according to the Torah. The Most High is with you, so you can outstep him and shit. So you don't die and shit. So I'm not dead yet. That's why my cousin not dead. That's why she got a gun to her head. If I get checkmated, she get checkmated. Y'all not understanding that? I don't have her photo in this phone, but that's why she got the gun to her head. She a teenager with a real gun to her head. Yes, it's loaded and all that shit, man. Nigga, we don't play around. Get a gun for fun and shit with no bullets in it. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So it's really loaded. And she like, if Ray don't make it, if her cousin Ray don't make it, I'm her cousin, my nigga. I'm her cousin for real. If I don't make it and she don't make it, so she had to shoot on, she gonna have to shoot herself. She's letting you know. When she a teenager, my nigga. In high school. So we too fucking hard for people, yo. But we realize we gotta find a holy way in order to stay hard like this. You can't just be hard and shit and be a dumbass, or hard full of pride. You following lies and shit. This shit fake as shit, phony as shit. You can't be hard being phony or following lies. You're gonna end up becoming a phony ass person. But if you follow the truth and you stay hard like that, nothing gonna happen because you following the truth. That's what we realized about the colonizers. They read books, so fuck that. We gonna read the same books they reading and shit. Fuck you reading, y'all. That's a good read. Oh my God, that's a good read. I'm reading that shit. English or not, nigga. I'm not prejudiced or nothing. These niggas conquered the world off of whatever the fuck they doing. I'm gonna find out what the fuck they doing. That's how it started. I'm gonna do what they doing and shit. Hold on. Start thinking and shit. While we reading it, we reading it different and shit. Reading the same shit, but reading it different. They read the Bible to figure out how to conquer us and shit about what people did in ancient times to conquer us. But we reading the shit to how to save ourselves and how to do what to do in obedience to keep ourselves safe. So we reading it different. We cracking it different, which is the same truth. So it's like, fuck y'all, you ain't gonna outstep me still. I'm gonna read this shit, shorty. I'm gonna know it. So that's how it came with me. So the tribe of Cherokee, like, nah, we need to find the true God, my nigga. They got the Bible in their hands and still conquering our ass with this Jesus shit. We need to figure it out. So that's why people kept saying Jesus for a long time still. But it's not Jesus. We need to shift that shit to the true name. There's only one name under heaven by which man can be saved. Come on now, we not stupid people. Let's stop playing. We don't play. We hardcore, right? All right, one name. What's that fucking one name? Let me call on that one name with all trust. Call on that one name and go hard as shit. Whatever happened, happened. Ain't nothing to be trying to live for real. Ain't nothing to live for if you're not living for the truth. If you're living for the truth and you going hard as shit, you get a moment of peace. Fuck it, shit. I get to live. I get a break and shit. The fuck? Is this a break or I get to live? Whatever. I think I made it. I don't know. Hard as going hard as shit. Y'all not realizing y'all just popping up out of nowhere like, damn, what happened to you? Vietnam. Damn. That's fucked up. Well, you with us, yo. We got you. Start trying to teach y'all shit. But then you come to the West Coast. Hey, we know already what happened to y'all. But you don't know we know because y'all on the East Coast too. But we on the West Coast now in California. I'm trying to look out for niggas. Y'all scared of shit of me. I go to the gym market like, yeah, I know they know I got them and shit. They don't know I got them. They like, oh no, he about to steal something. He about to steal. Oh no, the nigga about to steal. You scared of shit? I'm like, damn, the fuck? Go back to Baltimore, go into the stores. Japanese people be like, oh yeah, you know, they in there. Konnichiwa, they know. Oh yeah, we got one of our mans and one of our mans back. One of our mans back. One of our fighters back. Yeah, he back. Over here on the West Coast, going to the gym. Oh no, Spanish people all over here scared of shit. Natives and shit scared of shit. Like, man, y'all scared as shit. Like, man, on the East Coast ain't no scared. You see me like, yeah, my man back. I go into the store. I go into the Chinese convenience store. They happy as shit. My man back. Let me get your bags and shit. Let me get your bags. I'm on there. Yeah, I'm on there to get a Fago and shit. I'll come in there to get a Fago. Let me get a Fago. You know what I'm saying? And the t-shirt. Let me get a Fago and a white tee. Let me get that pic too off you. So straight go in there. Ask them to get your bags and shit. Sit them down. You comfortable? Like, yeah, I'm feeling comfortable. Whole time she just Chinese people in there. Come over here, Chinese people like, oh, it's a nigger and shit. Scared of shit. You know, and then y'all scared of shit. Especially the Japanese. I'm like, y'all fucking go to the East Coast, my nigga. Go to the fucking East Coast for a fucking few fucking months and realize some shit. Come back over here and be like, my bad, yo, they really like defending our ass. They on the front lines and shit, defending the shit out of. You understand that? Y'all crazy, natives and shit. Spanish people over here, not giving niggas jobs. We go over there, Spanish people. We looked out for Spanish people hard as shit. Made sure they got jobs and shit. Looked out for them. Made sure. Come over here, niggas took my piss and employed them damn self. Whole time I'm over here is because my mother over here. Who else I wouldn't come over here? Like, why you over here? Shit, stay on your side. Nah. They invented that side shit in the media to get y'all emotions boiling, my nigga. Otherwise, they wouldn't have did that East Coast, West Coast bullshit. They did that shit on purpose. That's not what it was about. Now y'all stuck in that shit. Thinking like a nigga from the East Coast coming over here to cause problems. No, a nigga like fucking us up with the media. City play outstepped you and shit. It was all about finding a way. It was all about finding the most high and going hard. So they had to play it and shit, playing dumbass cards, East versus West, this, that, and the third. We don't even have Crip and Bloods where we from. So we ain't had that issue either. So we don't have that issue still. So there's a bunch of shit y'all got over here that's issues that get in the way of what really you need to do is serve the most high creator strictly. No Crip, no blood, no blue, no red. Just let's serve the most high and go hard as shit to get our land back. Our niggas got a lot of shit in y'all way. They just played y'all ass. We gonna make them fight again. We gonna make them fight over crayon colors and shit. Just laughing at your ass in the background. Caucasian people laughing at your ass. You know they laughing at your ass, but you still so fucking mad that they shot your mans. You just still going hard and shit, laughing at you over some red and blue. And you're not focused on the main point, your enemy no more. You focused on some random ass person that's your brother and shit from across town. You're not focused on your enemy. So now them niggas still can walk around comfortable as shit while y'all kill each other over red and blue and make more movies and shit. You lost yourselves, yo. Anyway, y'all different, yo. But I just had to let you know, yo. Ask Judge Lynn and anybody else as a black woman or a black man that has a descendant of slaves here about EBT. The same feelings and emotions you got towards me about EBT, give those same feelings and emotions to all of us and watch what they say. Because if you keep feeling certain kinds of ways, it's going to get physical. We're not going to play with our food. We don't play with our food, my nigga. The one thing our slaves never do is play with our food. We were raised taught, don't play with your fucking food, eat your food. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We don't play with our food, my nigga, in any way. Don't play with our food. We don't play with our food. You don't play with our food. Don't play with our food. We earned that shit. So now you got to face them. So I'm unlocking the chain. I'm unleashing the chain. They going to fuck y'all up. And then if it get too crazy, you feeling they gonna fucking kill your ass. Judge Linda come out of nowhere and kill your fucking ass if you fuck up food stamps, my nigga. It's that serious. Think it's not. Press the try me button and shit. Go to the store, you see the toy, and the toy says try me. Stick your finger in there and press it. Watch what happens. We'll come right up a box on some Chucky shit. Fuck you right up. Don't play with our food, my nigga. How about learn a lesson from what America has done for us? Regardless that some did it to keep us enslaved and some did it to try to give us some relief and some liberty for apologizing for slavery. Two different thought processes, but still understand the system and adopt that. It's a good fucking system. Do the same thing for your people. But you don't. But if you do, you wouldn't be over here jealous of us. You wouldn't have your people scattered all over the fucking place doing whatever the fuck on some social media shit just to eat. You would be taking care of them. They wouldn't have to go anywhere. You could stay in the middle of the fucking forest somewhere, and they want EBT in the middle of the fucking forest. I'm good. I'm on EBT. In the middle of the fucking forest, I always eat. So they stay where they at. But you know what I'm saying? You don't take care of your people, yo. So it shows that you'll never be able to conquer America. Your mind not in the right place. You still got pride and shit. So with that said, y'all got a long way to go. Still, but y'all over this motherfucker like y'all know every in and out what y'all doing and shit. So what they said, shalom.